Hi guys, my name is Joshi Vibe. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up Node.js server in your application. At the end of this video, you'll be able to understand how to get a Node.js server running and be able to build your powerful web application. I will also show you how to set up the backend framework for building web application in Node.js, which is Express.js. I'll put you through on the installation. I'll also do a simple setup of how the front end static folder is run in a Node.js application. As it is with my videos, I always love to explain the theory about the video before we dive into the practical. As you can see, I've opened my Google to tell you what Node.js is. So I believe you should know that. For you to even be watching this video, you should know that. But for the purpose of understanding the in-depth of knowing the theory, let's quickly understand what Node.js is all about. Node.js is a cross-platform open source server environment that can run on Windows, Linux, Unix, Mac OS, and more. It is also a backend JavaScript runtime environment. It runs on the V8 JavaScript engine and executes JavaScript code outside a web browser. So if you want to install Node.js, you quickly go to node.js.org. You install the latest long-term version, which is 18.8 as at the time of doing this video. You don't need to install the current because most times the current is still in the phase of development and has a lot of challenges. That's why it's always recommended for you to choose the recommended for most users version. For this case here is 18.8 version. Once you are done installing it, just follow the prompt. Once you download this and install Node.js, it will install all necessary dependencies that we use to set up the server running and start building our powerful web applications. With that being settled, let's quickly start setting up our project. First thing, I'm going to create a folder. Let me call it Node project. Okay. As usual with my videos, I always love working with my CMD directly on my system. So let me open my CMD. Once I open my CMD, now let's quickly start setting up our dependency. First thing first, we are going to set up npm init. npm init will go ahead to install and create a package.json file. So let's go to our browser to understand more about npm. What is npm? Let's ask Google. npm is a package manager for the JavaScript programming language maintained by npm Inc. It is the default package manager for the JavaScript runtime environment Node.js, and it is included as a recommended feature in the Node.js installer. So once you install Node.js in your system, from here you are able to have npm. npm usually is installed with Node.js. So let's go ahead and initialize it here to create our package.json file. So npm init will do that for us. You go ahead and enter. Once you put, you just keep pressing enter till you install the necessary dependencies. Enter. Okay, that's all. Let me quickly go back and open the folder to see. Yeah, the folder. So yep, I've been able to set up this package.json file. Now let me open VS Code to show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so see our package.json file. Inside it will have version 1.0.0. Okay, the next step is to now install the necessary libraries that we'll use to work and set up our server. For this video and for purpose of making you understand more, I'm going to install Express.js, which is also the web framework for building RESTful APIs and also building web applications under Node.js backend. So let's ask Google so you can see what Google says about that. Express.js, or simply Express, is a backend web application framework for building RESTful APIs with Node.js, released as free and open source software under the MIT license. Aside from setting up and also installing this Express.js, we also use EJS. So what's EJS? Let's ask Google too. Embedded JavaScript template. So it's a simple templating language that lets you generate HTML markup with plain JavaScript. So we're going to use that to work on our front end. So with that being understood, let's go and install the necessary dependencies we need to work on this project. Let me clear this so we'll have a full page. So we'll use npm install express EJS, then we'll do -- save. Okay, once this is done, the next step is to install our virtual environment, and we are also going to use npm to do that. The virtual environment will be used for only development purpose. So to install the virtual environment, we'll do npm install .env -- save -dev. Okay, now that we have installed all the dependencies we need to work, let's go back to VS Code to look at what we've done so far. Now we can see the node models here. That is, these node models was added after I installed the .env, and also we have the package lock.json file, which comprises of our dev dependencies, the name of our project, and so on. Okay, the next thing for us to do now is inside this our root folder here, I'm going to create a public folder that will capture all our static files and everything we're going to use to work on the front end. Let me create one folder here. Okay, so let me call it public, and inside this public folder I'm going to create a file called index.html so that I can just set up a HTML file that we use to work and show that our server is working. So let me add a h1 hello. This is my first node.js project. Okay, let me save. Once you're done with that, the next thing is to create a server.js file, which will also be in the root directory of our project. This is where we will have our server codes and also handle our express.js and also initialize the framework we already installed. So I'm going to quickly create the file here, server.js. Inside this server.js, I'm going to create a variable const express, and inside this express file I'm going to use require to initialize express. After that, then I'm going to create another const variable called app, and inside this const app I'm going to now call express as a function directly. Once that is done, the next step now is to set up our view engine. We are now going to use this const app variable that we've created to set our view engine, then also use the app to set up the express.static file, which is our public folder here. Then we will now listen on a port on our local system, then run our server to see if everything is working fine. So let me set up the view engine. App.set view engine, comma, then EJS. Next, app.use express.js, sorry, .static. Use bracket, then we'll put the public folder here. Next, let's listen to a port on our local system. I'm going to use 3000, and you can use a different port, but let me use 3000. Okay, everything is set. Now let's go back to our terminal to run our server. To run server on node.js, you use node server.js. Okay, let's go to our local browser, a localhost 3000 port, to see if our server is working properly. Hello, this is my first Node.js project. As you can see, I have been able to set that up, and initializing this express.static public folder here, we are able to see inside is our server.js, our index.html file. Yeah, so that's how to set up a Node.js server in your project and start building your powerful web applications. I'm going to put this project on my GitHub. You can quickly look at it to set up yours. And if you have any questions, you can always drop them on the comment sections. Like, share, and also subscribe to my channel. Until we meet again, it's bye bye for now. I remain your humble servant, Joshi Vibe. Peace out. Bye.
Ooh yeah yeah yo. Ooh yeah yeah yeah.